Hello there. Today is March 9th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 405 for the year, Abstraction. On the way home from Trader Joe's yesterday, I found myself a bit frustrated with the mundane and the quotidian, so while I was out, I decided to go in search of abstraction. I took out my phone and snapped some random shots of construction sites, a mailbox, the sidewalk. I thought maybe I could turn one of the photos into something interesting. I went through them yesterday evening in search of abstraction. I cropped and flipped and rotated and so on. I found abstraction and isolated it. I don't know if what I have found is interesting, but it is interesting to me, and that is more than enough. Poem number 406, Quick Slap. Just as I was about to record yesterday's poems, I got slapped in the face with a picture of me and an ex. Microsoft was like, share your memories. And I was like, Microsoft, where did you get that photo from? I am fairly certain I never uploaded it to the cloud. Did Microsoft dig through my hard drive to find a picture to slap me in the face with? Why, Microsoft? Why? It was a quick slap. The picture popped up in the lower right-hand corner of the screen and then it was gone, which is just as well. I might have clicked on it and looked at it and stared at it and wondered why what happened. I certainly wouldn't have shared the memory. Probably I would have wallowed. So while I wish I hadn't been slapped, I'm grateful that it was a quick one. Poem number 407, The Thing. Something was blocking their efforts to make an effort toward achieving the thing. They struggled to find the energy to struggle. Sometimes too much is not enough, and sometimes not enough is too much. And this time what they did was as insufficient as it was excessive. They ended up putting a lot of work into not doing anything, and they had nothing to show for it. But in the nothing and in the not doing anything, they found the flow, and they shifted from not doing to doing without doing. They let the flow flow. They let the out in. They let the in out, and the block was gone, and the thing was done. Poem number 408, The Promise of Superconductors. Yesterday, the Times told me about a new room temperature superconductor that offers tantalizing possibilities. The Times told me that one day technologies that use electricity could be transformed. The Times also tells me that there is doubt regarding this breakthrough because a paper on the subject was recently retracted. I seem to recall the Times telling me about the promise of superconductors before, because in the song They, from the album They, there was a line that I wrote. They can build superconductors that will permanently alter the way they live forever. And that album came out in 1987, and I know I didn't make that shit up. I probably read it in the paper of record. So the Times has been telling me about the promise of superconductors for at least 35 years. The paper of record doesn't always get it right. See Judith Miller and her bullshit aluminum tube stories at the UN and the New York Review of Books and a few others debunked in what should have been enough time to stop Ms. Miller from helping to make the Iraq War possible. I am obviously still not over that. But I found that the story on superconductors that the Times told me yesterday struck a good balance between skepticism and promise. So I find myself simultaneously excited and not so excited about the promise of superconductors. And the last poem for today, poem number 409, Glaze of Cathexis. Stan Brakhage died on March 9th, 2003. 10 days later, with the able assistance of Judith Miller, the United States invaded Iraq. I was so filled with anger about the war that Brakhage's death did not register. I was busy writing and performing America Kicks Ass at that time. Sometime later, I became aware that he was gone, and for the past several weeks, I've watched a lot of his films. Tonight I will go to the Anthology Film Archives because it is the 20th anniversary of the death of Stan Brakhage. They are screening songs 24 through 29, 6 films by Brakhage with a total running time of about 100 minutes. I don't believe that these are well-known films, except among people who know way more about Brakhage than I do. I don't know why Anthology Film Archives scheduled these particular films for this particular evening, but I'm no curator. Maybe they have their reasons, or maybe it was arbitrary. I'm going to assume it was arbitrary, and in that spirit of arbitration, God, I'm stupid. And in that spirit of arbitrariness, I will watch Glaze of Cathexis. The first time I watched it a few weeks ago, I did not know that the word cathexis is a psychological term meaning the usually unhealthy concentration of mental energy on one person or idea or thing. Now that I know that, I will watch the film again. Be back in 3 minutes. And in 3 minutes, I watch the film, and then I write, my mind drifted at the end, so I'm going to watch it one more time. And I watch it one more time. Ah, yes, that is much better, thank you. And yes, I get the irony that what I had to do was employ cathexis while watching. So I did that for this morning's second viewing, and let me tell you, Glaze of Cathexis was longer and deeper and much more intense the second time this morning. I will only be able to watch tonight's program once, so I better remember for those 100 minutes to engage in cathexis as best as I can. And that's it. Thank you again for watching, listening, reading, whatever it is you do. Or even if you do nothing, just thank you, just for being you, as Fred said. Thank you. I appreciate you.